What's going on, guys? This is Waning Moonlight, and apparently I'm not getting raptured. So you know what that means? It's time to play some Guilty Gear Strive. Now, I'm not too good at Guilty Gear. Genuinely, I've been like on the highest floor I've ever been to is 7, and when I got to 7, I immediately went on a lost streak and went back down to floor 6. And it's really just because I don't play all that often. I mean, like, besides when Lucy came out and I did her arcade mode, I really haven't played Guilty Gear in like 5 months. So it's been a while, and that's typically how I do the game. I'm not consistently playing it. So I wanted to see what would happen if I tried to get good at Guilty Gear for playing 24 hours straight and as a new character. So I will be starting at 12 on Wednesday at noon, and I will end at Thursday, well, at noon. But how could I tell if I get good? Well, good thing Guilty Gear has two forms of rank. My goals for this video was to either A, get up to floor 8 on the tower, a floor I have never been to, or thanks to the own character ranking, I want to see if I can get gold. So, those were my two goals, and then I had to choose who to play. Because I wanted to play as someone new, I could not be either Abba or Kai, who are my two mains. I thought about playing someone who I haven't played in a while, like Sin, Brisket, Testament, Leo Whitefang, but I was like, nah, I want to do someone I have never touched. Something about that just kind of feels more right for a challenge, to really start with nothing and see where I can get. So that left me with a few choices. First I thought maybe Eno, she's kind of cool with the guitar. Maybe Potemkin, but I don't like grapplers. And then I decided on May. May's my own personal, I don't like fighting May. She's pretty annoying to fight against with her dolphin. But that's what would make it interesting, playing as a character that I'm pretty bad against, because even if I don't reach my goals, I still learn her moveset so I can counter it later. So, with all that being said, it's time to sit down and play the game. So, first thing I did was go into the arcade mode. The arcade mode, in my opinion, is the best way to learn any character. You get to fight against someone who's actively coming at you. Some people might recommend the training grounds because, there's nothing to interrupt you. You get to learn what the inputs are, but I don't know. I like fighting against a moving target. And as things went, I gotta say her command moves are pretty crazy. The downward kick and front flip are part of my personal favorite moves for May. So after completing the arcade mode, I was pretty confident and I went ahead and went into the tower. However, going into the tower, at first, gave me some confidence. I went against some easy fights. I fought a Johnny, which was, perfect. After beating him, becoming the new leader of the Jellyfish Pirates, I thought I might make my way up to floor 7. Because I am starting on floor 6, because I got knocked down. And then I got jumped. First, it was Venom. He and his symbiote just absolutely trashed me. He threw a cue ball at my head, knocked me out. It hurt. Then there was an Anshi who just fanned me down until I went into floor 5. Confidence already pretty much in shambles. I then was jumped by a 5-year-old with an eye patch, and he was insanely good. He cooked me better than Gordon Ramsay cooks. And now it's hour 2, and I'm already kind of starting off with some not a good wins. And while I was waiting here on floor 5, I actually found a Giovanna player who had come up from floor 4. I was like, that's close enough. Me and him had some matches. It did not go well for him. He was an alright fighter. But eventually the floor just somehow just completely emptied out. So I was like, okay, I guess it's time to get started on ranked. But before doing ranked, I actually went ahead and ran to the store. I kind of realized, if I'm going to be up all night playing Guilty Gear, I probably would need something to snack on, if I get bored. So, went to Food Line across the street, ran back, and started the ranked matches. That's how the third hour started, and I gotta say, it did not go well for me. I think I lost like 80% of the matches I did. There are a couple wins, but it was not looking good for me. My one goal was not to start on the bottom tier of bronze because I thought if I start on bronze, then that's as far as I could be from, being in gold. But as the third hour ended and the fourth hour started, I finished my 10th placement match and I got to see where I'm at. It put me in Iron 2. Now I thought, Iron? Hey, that ain't bronze. Then I was like, maybe I should look. Let me see if I can find a ranking system so I know how many points I need to get to gold. And it turns out I'm not in bronze, but instead I'm the step below it. So apparently the ranking goes iron, bronze, silver, and gold. Great. I am almost as far as humanly possible from gold. Alright. So from then on, I got out of iron pretty quickly, within the hour, because most people who are on iron were like brand new fighters or people who are like on floor 2. And I felt bad because it's like, I want to get out of iron. I want to get my goal, but these people were new and I was kind of bullying them a little bit. It was kind of mean. But yeah, I had to do what I had to do to get out of it. During hour 5, I actually went back to the tower because I kind of wanted to just, I did my bit in ranked. It was taking a bit, so tower it is, and I actually got myself back up to floor 6. Fought a Dizzy there, and I would come to know it, but I would fight like a lot of Dizzies over the next 24 hours. Well, 18 hours remaining. I think I fought like 4 Dizzy players, but I fought them each like 5 times, which is crazy to have that matchup that many times. I think her or Soul might have been the character I fought the most over this entire time. But anyways, after that, it became hour 6, and I went back to doing ranked, where I actually got myself to bronze 3. But then load times were starting to take a long time to find opponents, so I went back to the tower. Really, I was swapping back and forth like a lot for this first little bit. Nothing really of note happened except I fought another Venom player and I did pretty good against him, so I say I redeemed myself from my fall from Tower 6 earlier, and I kept on going. During hour 7, I actually made my way back up to floor 7, which was great and kind of lined up. There, things just kept working and going well. Not that every match went perfectly. I did fight some pretty tough fights, like against the Potemkin and Lucy. But it was around here when I started to really learn the potential for May's grabs. See, when I would start fighting an opponent, I would start every match with like a down kick, trip them. And if I kept fighting the same opponent, you think, oh, well, they're going to learn to down guard. So now when they down block, I would run up and grab them as my starter. So now, they've been hit with a brain destroyer. At the beginning of any match, they don't know if I'm going to start with the down kick or I'm going for a grab. That puts them in a pretty easy state of fear. So I would just keep mixing it up and seeing what worked. And even then, just in general, grabs are great. I don't know why I haven't really focused on using them too much till now. For the hour of 7, I really just kind of stayed in ranked for a good bit, because I was almost out of bronze. I was in bronze 3 and I was just like 300 points away from making it to silver. But by the time hour 8 was running around, I was I was kind of getting a little defeated. Not defeated, but like drained. Having sat down to play this game for 8 hours straight. And then I was also on a bit of a loss streak. I went against a Asuka player who spammed magic in an unfair way. In this hour, I just really kind of started to almost get in my head a little bit about being able to accomplish these goals. Was gripping my controller hard, and it was starting to become a little not fun. That's when I got a text from my friend saying, "You want to hop on Halo Reach?" So for hours 9 and 10, that's what I did. Did some Halo Reach with my boys, and I gotta say, some of you might think that sounds like a waste of time. You might think, oh, he's not playing the game, he's not, practicing. But taking that break allowed me to reset and refresh. So when hour 12 ran around, I was actually on a huge win streak. So I'm coming back to the game. It's about midnight now. And I gotta say, the break actually helped me a lot. See, when I play fighting games like for too long in a row, like for an hour or two, I almost develop a pattern like a robot. I do this move, then this move, and then that move, so on and so forth. But that doesn't allow me to be very changing. I'm not very adaptive in my moves. Taking a bit to go play Halo, I actually, while playing, was thinking back on my moves, my combos, how could I have done something different? And in doing so and being reflective, that allowed me to actually get some pretty good wins going forward. And when it became 1 o'clock, I went ahead to challenge someone on the tower, and it said ranking update. If I was to win this, I could go up to floor 8, being my main goal of the challenge. At first, I was really excited, like, let's go, I got it. But then I felt pressure, almost like I was under 100 feet of water. Because, yes, I could rank up here, or I could lose here, become demotivated, and spiral down. So, I went into the challenge, and it was close, but they beat me. So I was like, okay, it was close. I'm going to run it back. Maybe I can get them by surprise next turn. And I lost again. Tried my best. I was at first a little demotivated, but then I went to go find another opponent because I realized I didn't want to throw another loss at that guy. And I found a floor 2 Leo player. Now, did I feel good at getting to rank 8 because I bullied someone on floor 2? No. But we're not trying to feel good. We're trying to reach floor 8. So I challenged him. And he was actually pretty solid. He may be on floor 2, but he was pretty quick onto adapting to my moves. He did even beat me once when, I went a little easy on him. I didn't want to spam him, combo him, or whatever. So he actually kind of surprised me. 10 out of 10 for this Leo player. But I beat him 5 times and I didn't rank up, so that allowed me to figure out that apparently when you fight someone that's on a different floor, you don't get as many points. Which kind of makes me wonder if I go to floor 1 and then challenge someone on floor 10 and beat them, would that be an instant floor rank up? I don't know, but I'm very curious to figure out how that works. But anyways, I found a floor 6 player Faust, and I'm usually not a big fan at fighting Faust. Usually I play Abba, and Abba is a little bit slow in her non-raged form, so it's kind of hard for her to get in and fight Faust. But May's pretty quick, especially with Mr. Dolphin. So I went in decently confident, and I beat him every single time, leading to my rank update. And walking into floor 8 was amazing. The place looked so cool. The feeling was awesome. I would have jumped up to celebrate, except again, it's about it was 1:30 in the morning, and I'm in an apartment building for college. And I ain't trying to wake my roommates either. I took that joy right on into going to rank. Now that I got one of my goals down, I wanted to see if I could get the other. I mean, I've already completed the challenge for this video. It was to get the floor 8 or gold ranked. But I was like, you know what? Why don't I see if I can get both? However, by the time 2 o'clock was rolling around, I was getting exhausted. I actually have, I had taken audio clip notes to hear, to keep notes of what I did. I'm going to play a little bit just so you can kind of hear the tone of my voice to see how tired I was. It is now 2 o'clock in the morning. I hopped off online for a while. So yeah, exhausted, tired even. And I realized I got 2 options. Keep going and probably keep losing. My reaction time's getting worse and worse. Or, plan B, take a quick sleep. Set an alarm for 6, which is about 4 hours of sleep, which then gives me another 6 to keep playing the game. I thought that's probably not a bad idea. So I turned everything off, went and set an alarm, went to bed, woke up at 6 when my alarm, turned it off, and then passed out for another hour, waking up at 7. I don't know how it happened. I literally just alarm off, open my eyes, it's 7. So I literally jumped out of bed, grabbing my Xbox controller, TV remote, turned everything on, and hopped on the grind. And I would like to say I kept playing for the next couple hours and eventually made it to gold. But all I did was make it to silver too. And I think the game put in bots in the ranked mode because why am I fighting the same people at 2 a.m. as I'm fighting with at 6 a.m.? I'm pretty sure ranked mode is still region based. So I don't know who else is doing this sleep schedule, but it was kind of odd. But yeah, so I didn't make it to gold. But I'm still walking away from this pretty happy with how things turned out. I still made it to floor 8. To me, that's a pretty good achievement. So I was pretty happy. Some of you watching this video might be saying I should have shot for floor 10 or maybe Celestial or whatever. And maybe I should. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down below if I should try and do this again. Try and reach for floor 10. And maybe I'll do another 24-hour marathon of learning a character. If you want to do that, comment down below and I'll probably do it. And if you have any character recommendations as well. I'm still trying to find my groove. Abba is probably my main. Probably my main. She is my main, but I'm open to suggestions. And of course, if you like this video, there is a liked button to show it. And of course, you can subscribe. I appreciate everyone who watched this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you in the next one.